The Toyota Prado is one of Australia's top-selling and indeed most capable four-wheel drives. And well, it looks like a Prado, but it's not. This is a Haval H9. So can the Chinese four-wheel drive go toe-to-toe with the Japanese Prado off-road? This is going to be really exciting.
There's no denying what inspired the design of this big 7-seat Chinese SUV.
Both cars are 7-seaters, and check this out. Barn-style opening door, neat. What do you know? Another barn-style opening door.
But before we explore any more off-road tracks to see how the Chinese Challenger compares, I want to see how they perform on-road.
These big four-wheel drives are pretty cool. You really do feel like king of the road sitting up so high. And the Prado is a known quantity. This 2.8 litre 4-cylinder diesel engine provides plenty of smooth, low-end torque, and it makes the driving experience very relaxed, very easy. And little features like radar cruise control make longer journeys a lot more comfortable. And it comes with a 6-speed automatic transmission, which is diligent, but it's not the most reactive gearbox we've ever used.
The Prado also sits very comfortably on the road at 100 kilometers an hour, whereas the floaty steering of the Haval requires constant micro corrections. It kind of wanders left or right in its lane. Speaking of the Haval, let's take a closer look.
So there's a lot to like about this Haval. It's really well presented. I love that digital dash. All of the buttons and controls look and feel much nicer than the Prado, but this central screen on a sunny day like today, it's very difficult to see. Now the Haval's pumping a tiny 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine, but you know what? It actually goes pretty well. It's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic, which is probably a better unit than in the Toyota. It shifts a little quicker, and you also get paddle shifters. Sporty. The suspension is also a little bit softer, so it absorbs a few more of those little corrugations and ripples that you really feel in the Prado. A couple of other features you get in this car that you don't get in the Prado include an electronic park brake and an auto hold function.
Let's see how they compare inside.
The interior of the Prado has improved a lot, but there's still an agricultural feel to the cabin of this car. The centre stack is very old-fashioned. You've got the hand-operated park brake, and there's just a sense that a lot of this car is a little bit dated.
But you could argue that dated is also reliable. It's tried and it's tested.
Hop inside the Haval H9 and it's a more modern look. Everything has a bit more of a contemporary feel. I really like what they've done with the digital dash too. It's big and bold and it's quite high res. Generally speaking, the Haval is just a nicer place to sit. You just feel a little bit more special. And little touches like the fully panoramic roof really add to it. Both cars have supportive leather seats with heating and cooling ventilation, but the Haval gets the added bonus of massaging front seats, and they're pretty cool. The back seats in the Prado are really cool. As well as the holy shit handles, you've got quite a lot of amenity. Down here, you've got the temperature adjust, digital, and also heated rear seats. Well, the back of the Haval is almost identical to the Prado. Same holy shit handle, same folding, sliding rear seat to get access to the back, but my favourite, USB port down here, not just a 120-volt socket. So, backseat bandits in the Prado, how do they go? Well, it's not too bad back here. You get a vent, a cup holder, nice mod cons, and folding the seats isn't too hard. It's a manual process, and overall, not really made for people my size, for adults. So, in the back seat of the Haval, and surprise, surprise, very similar to the Prado. You've got the vents here, the cup holders here.
But there's one major difference: powered seats.
I'm really surprised what Haval has done with this car. Okay, it's a blatant rip-off of the Prado, but it actually drives pretty well on the road. But can it keep up with the Prado off-road?
On paper, the Prado is the better mudslinger. Its approach and departure angles, not to mention ground clearance, are all demonstrably better than the Haval. Both vehicles exhibit excellent wheel articulation and high levels of traction, even in low grip scenarios. The Haval showed surprising off-road ability, although I gotta say expectations were pretty low. But the fact of the matter is, the Prado does everything easier. The diesel engine is better suited to off-roading than the Haval's petrol engine, and the Prado's chassis has more off-road doodads. Crawling along angled slopes, the Prado is easy to pilot, with tactful and smooth throttle response in four-wheel drive low. When the Haval is slotted into its four-wheel drive low ratio mode, the accelerator pedal feels touchy and can almost result in bunny hopping if your right foot isn't really steady. In terms of tyres, it was Dunlop for the Prado and Kumho for the Haval, and both offered good off-road grip and acceptable noise levels when on the road. The Haval H9 performed better on and off-road than we ever could have predicted, and certainly surprised us with its capability. It has an upmarket interior and shows that Chinese cars have come a long way in the last few years. That said, I'd rather be stuck on the Unadada track in the Prado. Okay, it's more expensive, but the peace of mind that decades of reliability offer and a huge dealer network with oodles of spare parts provide is hard to put a price on.